This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Eloise Phillips, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, July 8th. Typhoon Bavi remains strong and is likely to continue approaching Taiwan. The Taipei International Ocean Forum opens as the IPAC calls for stronger global deterrence on China. And Taiwan's defense minister says China's recent test missile launch is most likely the JL-2. But first, today's top story. Taiwan's Central Weather Administration, or the CWA, said that although Typhoon Bavi shows signs of weakening, it remains a large and strong storm with a gale force radius of 380 kilometers. Experts have maintained their warnings that it will likely continue its approach to Taiwan, with the biggest impact on Friday and Saturday, though course changes are still possible. As of 8 a.m. Wednesday, the typhoon center was located about 1,490 kilometers east-southeast of Erlanbi, moving west to northwest at 21 kilometers per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 60 meters per second and a 10-level wind radius of 180 kilometers. Forecaster Ye Zijun said a sea warning could be issued as early as Thursday. Now, a land warning may be issued anywhere between Thursday night and early Friday, as the storm's outer bands are forecast to bring the first heavy rain to northern Taiwan and Yilan. The most significant impact is still expected from Friday, July 10th to Saturday, July 11th, with extreme rain likely in most areas outside of western Taiwan. Currently, waves as high as 2 meters have been observed around Orchid Island. Starting Thursday, wave heights in the northern waters and the Bashi Channel will all reach over 2 meters. The eastern half of Taiwan may even experience waves of 3 to 4 meters. During the typhoon's peak, waves might exceed 6 meters along the northern and eastern coasts and in Matsu. The 2026 Taiwan International Ocean Forum, or TIOF, opened Wednesday, July 8th in Taipei, bringing together domestic and international experts to discuss regional security and maritime issues. Luc de Pulford, the creator and executive director of Interparliamentary Alliance on China, or IPAC, said the forum would help raise global awareness of Taiwan's situation and urge stronger, more effective international action to deter threats to peace from China. A high-level dialogue session was moderated by Thomas P. McDevitt, president of the Washington Times. Speaking ahead of the event, McDevitt said he loved Taiwan in Mandarin. He noted the newspaper recently published a special report titled "Why Taiwan Matters, Now More Than Ever," which he presented to President Lai Ching-te. McDevitt said his exchanges with Lai underscored how crises can also be opportunities, particularly in shaping a new Indo-Pacific alliance. De Pulford warned that rising cross-strait tensions carry significant global economic risks. He said,
"We need to have international agreement about what the red lines would be that would trigger international action in the event of escalation. We don't have that. We still have too little awareness about the cost to the global economy of escalation and cross-strait tensions. All of that has to be addressed. We cannot have a situation where we sleepwalk into another Ukraine, except it would be much more severe."
IPAC, comprising lawmakers from 44 countries and the EU, has faced diplomatic pressure from China. De Pulford said participating politicians have taken considerable risks, but expressed confidence that they would return home prepared to push for stronger responses. Defense Minister Wellington Koo says that the intercontinental ballistic missile China test-launched from a submarine on July 6th was most likely the nuclear-capable JL-2. That came during an interview at the legislature on Wednesday, July 8th. China and Russia recently commenced the Joint Sea 2026 military exercise, during which a Chinese nuclear submarine test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile carrying a training warhead into the open waters of the Pacific. International observers have been trying to determine whether the missile was a JL-2 or the more modern JL-3. Koo said that Taiwan's armed forces monitored the launch through a joint intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance system and multiple intelligence source channels. Based on the military's assessment, the missile was most likely the JL-2, which is a part of China's nuclear deterrence mechanism. Ku said that although the missile did not pass through Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ, this action had a destabilizing effect on regional peace and stability, and confirmed that the Chinese Communist Party is a, quote, troublemaker. He added that many countries have already condemned the launch, and Taiwan will continue to maintain cooperation with like-minded nations to jointly monitor the regional security situation. Taiwanese authorities charged 2 executives who helped China's cyber spies collect sensitive information.
A Chinese-linked network impersonated a prominent Taiwanese magazine editor and international investigative journalists in an effort to collect sensitive information from political and academic figures in Taiwan, authorities said. Investigators said multiple people received emails and line messages claiming to come from the editor of Commonwealth magazine or members of the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Some messages contain links with malicious software designed to infect devices and steal data. Prosecutors traced the operation to Abigail, a Taiwanese company that allegedly helped collect mobile phone numbers and line accounts for use by the network. Investigators said Empress Information Technology in Xiamen, China, paid Taiwanese operators to obtain phone numbers for line registration, then rented the accounts for about $162 each. The accounts were used to contact targets by posing as journalists and persuading them to open encrypted files or download links. The 2 company executives admitted wrongdoing and returned illegal gains, prosecutors said. They were given deferred prosecution for violating the Personal Data Protection Act and were ordered to pay $3,700 and $1,600 to the public treasury. Officials warned that foreign infiltration efforts are evolving and urged greater vigilance among Taiwan's political and academic communities. Phyllis Koski for RTI News.
The next time you catch a bus to Hualien, you may be greeted by the station's newest employee, an orange tabby named Egg Tart, whose job it is to welcome and comfort visitors at the station's tourist information desk.
The next time you catch a bus to Hualien, you may have an opportunity to greet the station's newest employee, an orange tabby named Egg Tart. Wearing his own yellow uniform and greeting visitors with wide eyes and enthusiasm, Egg Tart is already a big hit at the station. The only thing more famous than his looks is his love of snacks. While he's well on his way to earning the reputation of the cutest glutton in Hualien, his drive for food is also what led to his discovery and adoption. Hualien Deputy Station Manager Chen Ande explains that in June of last year, employees frequently reported hearing a cat around the station. At the same time, the fish sticks employees sold as snacks seemed to be opened or eaten. Everything finally clicked into place when the thief, Egg Tart, was caught. Far from being upset, however, the employees decided by majority vote to adopt Egg Tart and give him both a job and a home, kickstarting the adorable little thief's new life. Chen says the station established a tourist information center on July 1st, where Egg Tart now works. His job? To welcome and comfort visitors with his hours guided by his mood rather than forcing him to be out at certain times. Egg Tart's presence is already a highlight for travelers. If you're worried about missing him, Chen assures that the employees post his hours on Facebook, adding that if riders see the cat at his designated spot, they're welcome to pet him. From stealing snacks to becoming the new star employee of the Hualien bus station, Egg Tart's comeback story has touched locals and tourists alike, adding a new, sweet surprise for anyone taking the bus to Hualien. Amanda Stevens for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Eloise Phillips. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, SoundOn Podcast, Spotify, you name it, we're on it. You can find selected shows produced by RTI's English team on different streaming services. All you have to do is search for the show or type RTI. Find an episode you find interesting, hit play, and you'll learn more about Taiwan and its people.